Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Global Online Racing Organization's GGT3C preseason round at the Dragon Trail Gardens Circuit. I am your host, SDM_RTZ, and I'm joined today by fellow commentator, or I should say, it's Trevor here, of course, otherwise known as SDM_RTZ, and I'm joined by my sidekick and brother, CJ Holden. And CJ, welcome to once again back to Dragon Trail Gardens, where this time we are back for some GT3 action here at the Dragon Trail Garden Circuit.
Yes, absolutely. We saw a lot of action on the track last week in GT4, but I think we're going to see even more of that in today's GT3 race at the GORO preseason round for GT3 classes. So we're about to get started here.
Yep. So of course we will start the replay in 3, 2, 1, bam. And so of course the replay being commenced here. And of course we have 13 cars here for today. They go about, a bit of a lag spike there as a matter of fact. So the grid getting off to a bit of a shaky start. And we'll go down the field quickly before we commence the race start. Grabbing pole position is the number 1 Starscream Enterprises BMW M6 GT3 of Frederick Bylus. And, of course, the reigning GGT3C champion, of course, putting on an effort here and a show for the famous title-winning Starscream Enterprises effort, of course.
Absolutely. This guy went on a tear last season in the number 10 entry last season, but now, since he is the 2019 GT3 champion, he will ride that famous number 1 number on the side of this car for the 2020 season. Look out for this driver. He's quick. He's fast. He's Frederick Bylus.
Yeah, it's his first driver's title in the Global Arm Racing Organization since 2015 in the original Global Racing Organization days, where they had mixed GT3 and GT4 grids, of course. But of course, grabbing another title for today for that man right there. Of course, that's going to bolster his confidence in the cockpit, of course, and of course bolster his confidence going ahead of this season.
Absolutely. Starting P2 will be none other than Alexander Heinen in the number 63 PRT competition, Subaru WRX STI GT3. This man was running single car T entries throughout the course of his duration here at the Global Racing Organization, but now, since 2019 start of the season, he's picked up 3 more drivers for each series. This man, he's going to be on another level. He may actually compete with some of the other mid-pack cars and will hope to make a name for himself in the coming season.
And so that is the top 2 of the grid. We'll work our way backwards, 1 more position to the sister number 0 BMW M6 for Starscream Enterprises. That is the hands of Nicholas Cook. So he's signed full-time for GGT4C and GGT3C, the New Zealander, having a very, very good breakout seasons in 2018 and 2019. And of course, that's bolstered his confidence to get signed for the title-winning SSC squad.
Yeah, absolutely. This guy, since his debut in the series, wasn't the fastest, but since his in only just his 2nd season in the series full time, placed a 3rd place finish in the GT4 standings here. He's quick. SSC noticed that and picked him up as soon as they could, and now he's piloting for the team.
Yeah, and before we go any further down the grid, you do notice that the cars are not lining up or double filing for the race start. That will happen next lap, because we like to take a moment to realize and honor a special person to one of the, it's not directly in the GORO community, but it is someone dear to one of our fellow members. Over this past Friday, we had one of our GORO members heavily impacted by the loss of his father, Sir Kyle Peckham, who is one of the New Union Race Club drivers. Unfortunately, he had lost his father, Mr. Kent Peckham, after a 2-year battle with cancer, and of course we do honor him with a secondary pace lab as well. And of course, the Global Online Racing Organization making that announcement as soon as the statement by Mr. Peckham was released that his dad unfortunately had passed after a 2-year battle with cancer. So of course, this pace lab taking an honorary tribute to that man who had worked with the many likes of Bill Elliott and Richard Petty, to name a few, and was very, very much appreciated within the NASCAR community. This coming weekend, he'll be riding on board with one of with one of the NASCAR Truck Series trucks, and he'll be riding with 2 of the Cup Series cars at Atlanta Motor Speedway, of course.
You mean Las Vegas?
Las Vegas, I apologize for that.
All right, moving down the grid now, we've got Gerhard Pera, one of the new drivers competing in the Global GT3 Championship here, riding with SDM Motorsports here in the number 55 entry. Interesting enough, and an unmarked, unfinished over the number 55 and GGT3 here today. In 5th place here, we've got CJ Holden, and I do not know this guy myself, but he will.
I heard he sucks.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. So, but anyways, he will be piloting the number 80 Accelerated Racing by SDM entry, the AMG, part-time this season, but qualified 5th in the race. 6th place is Rob Sheldon, the number 14 Super WRX STI GT3. 7th place is Nick Marriott in the number 17 Spectre Racing Team, Aston Martin Vantage GT3. 8th place is Jordan Brook in the number 66 PRT competition entry. Number 9 will be another first-time starter, Stuart Parsons in the Team LNR. Number 4, Porsche 911 GT3. 10th place, Pedro Hart in number 18, Aston Martin Vantage GT3. 11th place, Paris Siafakas in number 21, New Rules Club, Jaguar F-Type GT3. 12th place, Luke Mitchell in number 939, Peugeot RCZ GT3. And 13th will be another first-time starter, Joshua Murray in the number 357 Porsche. And we go for green, and the pace lap will conclude here. We will be about to go green here this time by. When will the green flag drop? When will Frederick Byers go for this first start? And it will be right now as we go green flag racing. All the cars hammer the throttle to the floorboard. It looks like Frederick Byers is going to go on the outside for the first time here. A lot of shake-up here in this first few corners here.
A good start by Frederick Bylos in the number 1, but it is all New York City traffic further back down the grid as Alexander Heinen holds on to P number 2, but it is a lot of busy action here as Gerard Pera. Big sideways moment for Nicholas Cook.
It's more contact between the
that was the number. Yeah, that was the number 17 Aston Martin of Nick Marriott that got very, very sideways, and there's a bit of damage as well to the number 80 of CJ Holden. As we go further up the grid, there was actually a bit of rear end damage on that Mercedes, the number 55 of Speed Motorsports for Gerard Pera. So the Spaniard, of course, getting up into 3rd, but of course, at what cost? With a bit of battle scars, of course. And a big battle for the lead going on as Alexander Heinen is all over the back of bumper of this number 1 BMW.
Yeah, Alexander Heinz really looking to make it.
Frederick was a bit wide.
May have been a little contact right there between the top 2 runners here. But Frederick Bylos, he's not letting an inch off the 63 of Alexander Heiner here. Too wide, looks like, for 4th place here.
Yeah, it looks like Rob Schauer got the better of CJ Holden for the time being.
He's going to try the outside.
Yes, he's just going to try the outside in the number 80, and it looks like the torque of the Mercedes is going to come in clutch here. But look at this now. It's going to be 3 cars directly behind him. We'll go on board.
4 cars.
We'll go on board now with the number 0 of Nicholas Cook. Nick Marriott's going to slip one on the inside, but he gets tipped wide by his former teammate, Nicholas Cook. And so Nick Marriott forced out a bit wide in that number 17 Aston Martin. Of course, Nick Marriott, who is a local Australian, was actually recently at the Bathurst 12-hour 2020 event working with one of the Mark Cars Invitational entries. And of course, he was able to see the likes of Bentley Team M Sport win that famous Enduro, obviously.
Another pass for position. The number 80 going around the 55 for the 3rd place here. That is CJ Holden. He's still got damage. Front splitter and front right suspension damage here.
Car around! That is the 66 of Jordan Brook. He's going to come to a dead stop. And there's not enough damage for that to be FCY. That is an incident, but of course I think the FCY is going to come on out. And so it does. You see the flashes on the number 80. So that is FCY mode engaged. All cars down to 62 miles per hour. And and a contact!
That was a hard hit. Number 80 and the 55 getting together.
And of course, the 2 cars just trying to get right with each other. I think that's because of the inexperience that Gerard Pera has within the series. I think he realizes, full front engine damage as well. So that's going to be a hefty hit as well. So pit road is closed. And so the 4-way flashers on these cars are going to come on And what a hit that was. And Nick Marriott gets himself back up into 3rd place, so he really benefited from that shambles for the 2 SDM Mercedes.
Yeah, I don't think CJ Holland's going to be very happy about that incident with his teammate right there, and especially because since he got himself back up into 3rd place here, may have been down a couple of positions on the first few corners of the race here, but man, what a drive by that young American right there. Just horrible luck here coming in the first 5 laps of this, first 2 laps of this race here. We'll see what he can do later on this race.
Yeah, CJ Holden having competed his campaign in the former JCR GT3 Championship. Oh, you can see the really violent shaking on that Mercedes. Going back to what I was saying for 2018, he ran the 2018 campaign with a Mercedes AMG GT3. He was only able to get 1 win in that series, but that came at Dragon Trail. That's because the number 91 SRT Viper, formerly piloted by Trevor Holden, of course, did get a penalty at that race, of course.
Moving up the grid here, let's talk about the South African of Stuart Parsons here. The first South African to ever partake in the Global Online Racing Organization. With Team LNR and partaking in a Porsche 911 GT3 RSR here. It looks like a beautiful livery on that Porsche right there. Stuart Parsons making his first official start here in the Sanctioned Series.
Yeah, Stuart Parsons got his word from Rob Schaller. Of course, Rob Schaller, he's competed before in the past with this young gentleman before, and of course, I guess LNR did catch wind of a proper league racing series, and of course this beautiful Porsche 911 RSR for logistical nightmare racing. I'd say, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful cars on the grid, of course, right next to the Stars Prize BMW M6 GT3s. And so, of course, this team here entering 3 drivers, as far as I'm aware, 2 to 3 drivers at the most for the 2020 GGT3C season. And of course, he'll be looking to add to LNR's resume of leagues competed in, and of course, no finer fit than the Global iRacing Organization.
Just ahead of him will be Gerhard Perra, also making his first start, also the first Spaniard to make his first start here in the Sanction Series with the rookie sticker as well.
Yeah, Gerard usually comes from the Straight Line Motorsports League, and he's doing very, very well for himself. At the moment, it's going to be the championship finale as he comes into the pits. He nearly comes over the pit commitment line, so that was a near penalty for him, of course. And he's going to make his first ever stop within the Global Online Racing Organization. And so, of course, like I said, this man coming over from the Straight Line Motorsports League, and of course, he is currently 2nd in points for the Pro Championship. They're competing with an Audi R8 sponsored by Sidemax Motorworks, who Gerard Perra brings over that sponsorship, so he will have that for his car for 2020, of course.
Absolutely, this man is bad fast. Whatever car you put him in, I think he will look to be a major contender threat here going into the 2020 championship.
We'll take a look at Joshua Murray, who is also in the 2nd Porsche 911 GT3 RSR, of course. It looks like it's kind of a rushed livery, but of course, you know, with a bit of fixing up, of course, that Porsche can be looking very, very nice, of course. Resemblant to one of the factory effort Porsche 911 RSRs that have a long, successful career all over the world, including the WBC and the ELMS and the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, of course.
Absolutely, not the fast. He says he's definitely not one of the fastest drivers here, but he's definitely going to be looking to learn a lot from the series here, and obviously driving possibly one of the most recognizable liveries of all time on a GT car here today.
Let's take a moment to go back up to one of the former Cook Racing drivers in the hands of Nick Marriott. So in the number 17 Aston Martin V12 Vantage, of course, this new team outfit, Spectre Racing Team, a complete left field entry into the series at pretty much at like 10 o'clock that this team here committed 4 cars, including the recruitment of Pedro Harsk in the number 18, as he's in 6th place at the moment. And so, of course, this young driver here, who has a lot of success, of course, formerly hosted the Spectre Racing 250 at Laguna Seca over the summer. He got 3rd place in that, but of course that was dominated by Frederick Bailus and the number 0 of Nicholas Cook as well. So, of course, Nick Marriott, we're looking to see good things for this young man and this young team, and they're looking to be amongst the greatest of names for the Global Arm Racing organization.
Absolutely. We're going to be looking back to going green flag racing here. The flashers are off. The field's spaced out by 1 second a car apiece. Coming down the front stretch right here. Get the command of the green flag. When will they fly? It's up to the commander, Frederick Bilos here. He will hold, and he will put the throttle and the hammer down as he will take the green flag here. Gets a great start as always, and that man is just pulling away.
Yeah, Frederick Bilos just so daunting in this BMW M6. He's just an absolute monster. He formed part of the VRR Suzuka 1,000-kilometer race at Suzuka for the GT300 class. That was all swept by GORO teams. Oh, bit of a tire shake right there. And, of course, actually, as a matter of fact, Rob Schauer had an absolutely terrific start. He's at P2 at the moment.
Yeah, the Brit coming over from VRC in just his second season, 1 second in the championship standings here. A great drive for a rookie driver here at PRTC competition. Saw that and swept him up, and I think he'll be a good man behind the wheel of that number 14 Super WRX.
Yeah, CJ Holland actually also had a pretty good start as well. He restarted way down the grid, but he's already got himself up to P7, so he's had a terrific start in that number 80 accelerated racing by SDM machine.
Yeah, absolutely. This driver comes from a lot of experience that we've been behind the 6.2 master aspirated platform of the Mercedes-AMG here. Running a part-time schedule this year, but he doesn't care about points. He just cares about a win.
Yeah, a battle for 4th place at the moment with Nick Marriott versus Nicholas Cook. These two former teammates for last season for a short duration, but that's not going to be all same and pretty here for this preseason round. And Nick Marriott going to try and keep that 4th place in that number 17 Aston Martin, the ferocious 6.0 liter V12 under the hood of that machine.
Yeah, these two very good drivers, very young drivers.
Oh, and Nicholas Cook got an absolute run through the corner. And he's going to put that number 0 alongside. Can Nick Marriott hold it up to the inside? On board now with the number 0.
Gets a little airborne on the curves right there, but Nick Marriott, he's just pulling away here. CJ Holland drafting behind the number 21 of Harris Siafakis. Let's see if he can do something here in this hard charge right here.
Oh, he's going to pop. He showed the door a little bit, but of course he closed it a bit late. So, of course, CJ Holden going to wait for another move of attack on the number 21 GI GORO F-Type GT3.
This battle for 4th still going on between Nick Marriott and Nicholas Cook here. Nicholas Cook all over the back bumper of the number 17 of Nick Marriott here. Let's see what he can do in terms of defense here in the carousel here.
Yeah, Nick Marriott, easily one of the more skill-defining racers of the Global Arm Racing organization. Of course, he's had a very short career, but he's willing to make a name for himself in that short period of time. And, of course, he's going to look to start 2020 on a high here. Nicholas Cook reverses to the inside. What a switchback by Nicholas Cook in the number 0.
What a move by CJ Holland for 6th place here. Just absolutely sent it on the second to last corner and just made the move stick. He's up into 6th place already. I'm sorry, in the back of the field.
Oh, Nick Marriott going to look to swing the favor back in his way into the inside. Oh, there's contact once again between the two. The number 17-0 really going at it here. Nicholas Cook just absolutely on it here today, and he's going to swing it back on the outside. But these two finding each other are going to hold up, and it's going to allow CJ Holden to get directly on the back bumper of the number 17 here.
Yeah, CJ Holden has just...
Oh, big spin! And that's Luke Mitchell for the 939, who I saw spinning on the minimap, and he's absolutely saved it. What a save that was.
Yeah, but Jordan Brooks going to go get the good momentum here for this turn here. Jordan Brooks looking to the outside, comes into the inside. Gerard Perez going to have a look as well.
Oh, and I think the two Porsche 11 RSRs, one of them was spilling tires. So Stuart Parsons and Joshua Murray going way down the order. And, of course, they're trying to get used to these new packages, these former title-winning Porsche 11 RSRs in the GGT3C series.
And it looks like CJ Holden's gone around for 5th place around Nick Marriott here. Well, not sure what happened there between those two drivers in the carousel, but CJ Holden making a hard charge to get a good run here today. He's already up into 5th place here in that number 80 Mercedes.
Yeah, and Paris Siafakas looking to make it another position gained on the number 17 here for 6th place. He's actually lost a bit of a ways because that Aston Martin gets a good drive out of the exits, but that straight line speed capabilities of that Jaguar really come in clutch. It's a supercharged machine, so that's why it makes up so much speed, but it isn't good out of the acceleration, of course.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, Nick Marriott almost getting the grass there a little bit coming out of turn 1 right there. Getting a little loose coming out of turn 2.
Which car are you on board with?
The 17.
The number 17. Okay, Nick Marriott. Okay. Go on board now from the driver's eye of the Australian Nick Marriott. Of course, he likes seeing this view either in real life or in a sim. Oh, big tank slapper out of the hairpin right there. And of course, we're going to see if he can make up any progress later in this race, of course.
I hate to break it up a battle here, but we've got a battle going on for 9th place here involving the number 66, the 55, the 939, and possibly the number 4 Porsche here. And it looks like Gerard Perez is going to have a look to get around this number 66 entry of Jordan Brook here.
Yeah, the Spaniard's going to make easy work of the... Oh, and there's a bit of contact, definitely. So Gerard had to back out of that one. And so Jordan Brook, who was on the receiving end of that, of course, Gerard didn't want to overtake him, but Gerard's going to make it easy for... Yeah, what a huge run that was for Gerard. No work needed for that Mercedes. Oh, Gerard's going to try and send it. Gerard goes a bit wide. What a save that was for Gerard.
And it looked like Jordan Brook gave a little too much bumper there to the back of the 55 right there, but he's regained 9th place back with some questionable contact right there, but I think the stewards will let that by and say that's a racing incident.
Stuart Parsons trying to make a move on the 939 Peugeot RZZ Group GT3. And so...
Looks like he's going to follow behind.
We'll stay on board now with Stuart Parsons in the driver's eye. He's really trying to get it. Ooh, Luke actually goes a bit too much on the grass. That's going to slow him up. You can see the speed differential starting to come down. And Stuart Parsons going to probably look to the inside of the hairpin. What can be done here? He's going to look down to the inside. Luke actually goes a bit wide. He's going to give 2 positions instead of 1. So Gerard...
Oh, the 14! The 14's gone around!
The 14 from 2nd place has gone around. And that's not good news for Rob Schaller, who did seriously well in the earliest part of this race. And I think all of a sudden, it's just come back to bite him.
Yeah, he was running very good with his teammate Alexander Heinen, both in 2nd and 3rd position here. And it looked like as if, now, with that being said, it looks like Nicholas Cook is now running in 3rd place at the number 0 Starship Enterprises BMW.
And so Nicholas Cook, who gains 1 position because of the falter of Rob Schaller. So it's going to make it both SSC BMWs here today in the top 3. And CJ Holden in the Accelerating Racing number 80 Mercedes AMG, of course, back in the Mercedes for 2020. There was really, I don't think, that much prime time for Mercedes in 2019. So, of course, SDM, who used to run the SRT Viper program, of course, switching to something new and more nimble, that being the Mercedes, of course.
Yeah, like with that being said,
someone's gone around. Someone has gone around, and that is Stuart Parsons in the number 4 Logistical Nightmare Racing Porsche. And of course, that chicane just really bites people if they're not careful with it, of course.
Yeah, he was running so good inside the top 10 here for this race. It looked like he got a bit too much curb or either just launched the car up and sent the car flying around here.
Yeah, he's really behind now in position number 13, of course, dead last overall. And of course, we'll see if he makes any ground on up, of course. Not much can be said really around the racetrack. Let's see if we can find some battles that are going on at the moment. And I think the closest one we have for the time being is Rob Schaller and Joshua Murray.
Yeah, Joshua Murray, a new driver for the 2020 season here, taking on the experienced Rob Schaller of the series here. Making his first official season last year with BRC Motorsport and a couple of new Peugeot RZZ. Second in the overall championship standings here. An impressive drive for that Brit right there. He knows how to wheel a race car right there.
So we'll move our way back up through the grid where I think we have another battle going on. Actually, that's going to be just teammates right there. So Nick Marriott in 5th and Pedro Harsk in 6th. It's not the first time we've seen Pedro Harsk, the Portuguese driver, in an Aston Martin. That would go all the way back to 2016, of course, where he was just super, super close. He's actually going to make a move on his teammate. So Pedro ain't holding up.
It's either that Nick Marriott missed his braking point or he just happened to let the 18 car go by, but we're going to see an interesting battle here between the two teammates here.
Yeah, you don't want to really fight with your teammate, obviously. That's going to hold you guys up from getting really anywhere, so we'll keep an eye out for what goes on, but at the time being, we have another battle going on. Once again, it's going to be Jordan Brook and Gerard Parra in the number 66 versus the number 55. Of course, you see on the side of one of the PRT Subarus is a memorial stick, and you'll see on the side of, actually, hold on, we'll take a moment to focus on the battle here. Of course, Jordan Brook's going to hold on to that inside position. Actually, he's going to go a bit too much. Gerard on the brakes has really got to slow up, and Jordan with the deja vu drift of the century. I think Jordan's eating too much pace here, don't you think?
Yeah, I certainly think that, but he's got a lot of pace trying to defend that number 55 as he's got really on the bumper here coming to turn 1 here.
Yeah, Gerard is really trying to get by the 66 because it's absolutely holding up the 55 Mercedes on a big time.
And
both over the curbing, and Gerard Parra, another small mistake that gives more breathing room for the number 66 Subaru.
Yeah, I was going to say, Gerard Parra's going to need to get in front of the number 66 because he knows his teammate in the number 80 is running currently in 4th position of this race.
Oh, you can see in the driver cockpit how much Gerard is really pushing that Mercedes, just full wheel lock, I think, to the right. If not, it was at least 90 degrees that wheel was turning towards the right.
Yeah, he's really pushing that car hard here. The AMG are very stable, very drivable platform here, but I think the team right now is just trying to get used to the kinks here of this platform, and I think they found a lot of use of this car already, and I think they're going to be quite the force record with here, besides the SSC guys.
Yeah, we should be coming up to possibly, I think, our first pit stop soon, so that coming close to the halfway mark, so it is going to be lap 21, if my memory serves me correct. So we're getting close. So that means these guys are probably going to think about making their pit stop, and probably the only pit stop, because they can either run on 2 sets of compounds. They can add the whole range of compounds from racing hards to racing super softs are available. But the rule is that these guys have to run at least one stint on 2 different sets of compounds. So a lot of people usually go from racing softs to super softs late in the race. So we're going to see what happens late in the running. Of course, a full course yellow would mean that these guys would be able to get back into the pits. So, and Gerard Parra, once again, already all over the back bumper of this Subaru. We'll go up over them from the hood view.
It looks like this. Now we're going to see a 4-car battle start to erupt here. Oh, Nick Marriott gets a little loose coming out of that corner right there, going into the carousel, the number 17 Vantage here.
Oh, Jordan going a bit too deep. Jordan Brook going a bit too deep, and he spun it around, but he saved it as well. But he's lost position. Oh, hold on to it, and he saved it.
Oh, what a save by that young Australian right there. The pace was with him, let me tell you what.
Be able to take a moment to, as you can see here, Jordan Brook, who makes this left-hander, you see on that car, the 75 decal, that is a tribute to Mr. Kent Peckham, who has run 75 in the past, and of course Kyle Peckham, who runs 57 as an homage to his father. And of course, we wish Mr. Kyle Peckham for the best. Very well, the Global Army State Organization has his back, and of course, that pace lab, the tribute pace lab to Mr. Kent Peckham will always be an homage for the 2020 season, and Mr. Kent Peckham will ride with us for the 2020 season.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this right now, we've actually got a battle for 5th place going on between the two Spectre Racing Vantages and the number 55 of Gerard Parra and the number 55 STM entry. This is going to be an interesting 3-part battle here to watch here.
Yeah, and these guys, Nick Marriott and Gerard Parra, you don't really see these guys battling it out that often, so this is going to be a rather interesting Nukem Dukem battle for 6th place at the moment. It looks like Nick Marriott's going to be a little bit defensive going into this long sweeping right-hander, which feels like an eternity. Gerard Parra is going to easily get him on the inside, while
Nick Marriott's going to hold it on to the outside.
Oh, what a move that is for Nick Marriott!
That's him defending hard right there. What a move!
Yeah,
right
really,
there.
really hard. Gerard gonna probably look to the inside, maybe. Oh, he was really on the edge of the brakes.
He was really looking at a little tank slapper there from Nick Marriott there in the number 17, the 55, following in the draft here. Let's see if he can get a run going into turn 1 here.
I think one of the cars in the background came to the pits, or if not, faked a pit. I'm not 100% sure on that, but we'll go back to this battle for 6th place. Gerard Parra getting by Nick Marriott. And so that's a position gain for Gerard Parra. And so Gerard moving in the right direction. He's now in 6th place right now for this race.
Now he's on the charge for Pedro Hart's the number 18 Vantage now. Let's see what he can do.
Holy diaper, Nick Marriott! He tried to get the position back, and I think he is going to. Oh, and that tank slapper. And these two are going to be side by side.
Oh, this is going to be interesting stuff right here. Let's see
these two side by side going. And oh! And there's a hit.
Nick Marriott's been just shot into the wall there by Gerard Parra. Oh, a lot of traffic here. Nick Marriott's
this is not good. And Nick Marriott's going to stop it. Yep, this is, I think, going to be a caution. He's going to stop it.
Absolutely.
Yep, and let's go back up to the front of the field. And
the call from the tower. FCY.
Yep. 4-way flashers. That is going to be a full course caution here. The second one of the day. And it's going to be right near where these guys are going to want to pit. And I think pit lane CJ is about to get busy.
I think you're very right, Nick. I'm pretty sure Frederick Vilas is not going to be happy that he's going to have his entire league just completely erased there. He's been having such a dominant run here in the number 1. We really haven't talked about him much here, but that man has just been wheeling and dealing the cards here today, and he's just been just leaving everybody in the dust here today.
And what's going to be interesting about this is that the number 1 is going to be going from super softs to softs, which if he were to pit now, which would really help his strategy out in a way, because these softs last better than super softs. A majority of the field is on softs, which they're going to switch to super softs for the second half of the race. I think a lot of these guys were anticipating this race to stay green to go on the quicker compound for the second half of the race, and I think that's just going to swing in Frederick Bylus's favor, because he will be on, of course, a slower compound than the super softs, but of course that tire will last a lot longer than the super softs.
I think what we're going to see here is a lot of hard charging, because this is the pit window cycle, and we're going to see here that in this next restart, every track position is going to make a difference here at this next restart here. So I think we're not only going to see an interesting pit stop, but we're also going to see a very interesting race restart here, as we see the field now just slowly getting together here for this caution here. We see just 13 unbelievable GT3 machines here, ranging from American all the way to German, European, Asian, you name it, it's everywhere.
Yeah, the talent level, and from the talent level, we're representing the nationalities from all over the world here in the Global Arm Racing Organization. It's absolutely amazing here. And now, of course, coming to the pit cycle, we'll go to the front and we'll look back, and pit lane is going to get busy. The majority of the field, if not all of the field, is going to come in. We'll go on board now with the number 1 BMW for Frederick Bylus, as he's the first car into the pits, getting a fresh set. Go ahead.
And everybody is going to make their pit stop here. They know this is going to mean or break the difference here. Number 1 coming out first here. The 939 comes out second here. Luke Mitchell got a great start, and Stuart Parsons comes out 3rd place in this cycle of pit stops here. This is going to be very interesting, if I do say so myself.
Nicholas Cook comes out into 4th place, CJ Holden into 5th, and then Parasiafakis comes out 6th place. But it is interesting to note that the number 939 and the number 4, so that Peugeot and the Porsche did not take fuel on their stops. The 1st place car of Frederick Bailus, the 4th, 5th, and 6th place cars of Nicholas, CJ, and Paris did take fuel on their stops. Alexander Heinen in 7th place did take fuel. Jordan Brooks did take fuel. Joshua Murray, I don't know if he took fuel, but I'm going to go on a limb and say that he did not take fuel. Gerard Pera actually filled up the whole tank in the 55. Pedro Hartz did as well. Rob Schauer took fuel, and Nick Marriott, who goes all the way back down to 13th after repairing his damage, will, of course, he took fuel as well, but that's a no-brainer, of course.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. We are going to see quite the restart here, I do feel like, as these 13 drivers here, they're going to try and make up every position that they can get here during this restart here. So I think we're going to see a lot of position shuffling here, maybe even an FCY after this race restart here. But drivers warming up their tires now. They know that track position is going to be very, very important here, as we just about are under halfway through this race here today, as we look on board with the number 1 entry of Frederick Bailus here.
And so these guys, of course, now getting close to the end of this yellow flag lap, so we will go green this time by. So these guys warming up their tires. Look at how aggressively Stuart Parsons and Frederick Bailus, to name a few, are warming up their tires. So they're really trying to get the heat into those tires now to get ready for this restart. And of course, which will be once again led by Frederick Bailus, as he's on the Racing Softs compound here, where a majority of the field is gonna be on the Racing Super Softs compound as well. So when does Frederick Bailus put down the pedal to the metal is the big question. He goes to the finish line and pedal to the metal, green flag back in the air for a lot of these guys, of course.
Yeah, definitely indeed here. We're going to see quite the bit.
Nicholas Cook going a bit wide. That's going to allow CJ Holden to take 4th place.
What a move by CJ Holden in the number 80 machine here. He's now going to put the pressure on the top 2 right here. Luke Mitchell and Stuart Parsons, they know they got a hard charging Mercedes they have to deal with here to keep them at bay. But more weight is more fuel needs more weight in the cars here. Let's see what this 3-car battle here can do here for the time being here.
It's actually interesting to know that the number 80 Accelerati, I'm pretty sure, just stayed on Racing Softs compound. So I'm pretty convinced. I didn't see it, but I think he might have either started the race on Super Softs, then switched to Softs, or started on Softs but stayed on Softs and then has to come back in for another set of Super Softs.
Yeah, already putting pressure on the back bumper of the 4-car of Stuart Parsons here.
The number 939 got a bit loose, and it's going to allow the number 4 and number 80 to get by.
Oh, look at this! He's gonna make a 2 position.
No way! What a move!
CJ Holden with the move of the day right there.
Yes, CJ Holden in the number 80. What a double pass that was for 2nd place.
Little bump right there.
And Nicholas Cook is going to benefit from this mistake as well.
Oh, he's going wide! He's going wide into the gravel trap. It's going to make these positions go away again with Alexander Heinen now looking at 4th place here.
On board now with the number 63 as they go into turn number 1. He's got to defend from the number 0 once again, but at the same time, Alexander Heinen really on a charge here from the back of the grid now, with just about 22 minutes to go left in this race, or should I say about 19 laps at most. So time doesn't matter, but it's going to be the lap counter. Look at this right now, 3 wide going towards the hairpin. Look at this.
Yeah, CJ Holden's looking in this mirror going, oh my goodness gracious here, what is happening here? All braking at the same time, very good starts here. Here comes Nicholas Cook.
Jordan Brooks!
It sent the 4-car around. Stuart Parsons did not have that go the way he was anticipating here, and now he's dropped all the way down to 13.
I couldn't even get on board with the number 4, but some suspension damage and rear bumper damage was sustained on that number 4. And so that's, of course, was a good battle. And Nicholas Cook even has damage to his own car.
Oh, that's not good. He's going to have to really... This is not...
Oh, yeah, that car's very loose. He's going to have to get that car back to the pits.
Oh, definitely indeed here. Not the start that he wanted, absolutely. He's losing a lot of ground here as this field just takes it.
Yeah, they're going to easily overtake Nicholas Cook, who is going to come back into the pits. Yep, he's going to come right back into the pits to get that damage fixed.
Yeah, yep, going on board with the stop here of the number 0. Not a lot of fuel. It looked like he may have taken a little bit of fuel there, actually.
Yeah, I thought he did as well, so.
Stuart Parsons down the pits here, going to take a little bit of fuel here as well, and also to fix that damage as well in that number 4 GT3 RSR.
And I think it took new tires as well as for a new set of racing softs. So we'll go back up to the front of the field for the time being as...
got a lot to cover here.
Oh, there was a lag spike from one of the cars. I think it was the number 63 who is still trying to defend from the number 55 who is also trying to defend from the 21 as well. So a lot of fighting and defensive work going on for a bit of the mid-pack for the most part. So Alexander Heinen trying to defend from Gerard Pera, but Gerard Pera at the same time trying to defend from Parasiafakis.
Yeah, it looks as if that Jordan Brook now has got to do a lot of hard defending work here.
Oh, look at this now. Pedro Hart's going to defend from Rob Schauer, and Nick Marriott's going to try and get to force a mistake out of the PRT Subaru, and it looks like he has, so Pedro Hart's with a good move on Rob Schauer will get that to 8th place.
Little contact there between the two cars right there. Nick Marriott just following behind. He's going to follow behind his teammate here. Tuck back inside.
Oh, what an aggressive move for Nick Marriott. Oh,
right there.
Yeah, these cars are absolutely on the edge of grip levels. And, of course, Rob Schauer going to force one on the inside of Pedro Hart's, but Pedro Hart's got the inside.
Oh,
bit of contact.
Big door slammer.
Yeah, Pedro Hart's got held up a little bit, but at the same time, Nick Marriott's going to stay within the slipstream. And Nick Marriott is going to pass this Subaru WRX with ease.
I don't know. Rob Schauer's going to come back in the braking zone. Still side by side going through this hard braking left-handed.
Yeah, it looks pretty close for the most part. Nick Marriott's got that position swap with his teammate. Pedro Hart's went from 8th to 10th, and Nick Marriott went from 10th to 8th, but Rob Schauer stayed neutral more or less. So, of course, Nick Marriott is going to lead the way for Spectre Racing Team here in the second half of this race.
Absolutely. Going up the front of the field, we've got a battle going on for 5th place here between Jordan Brook and Gerard Pera once again here with the 66. Jordan Brook and the 55 of Gerard Pera. We're going to see what these G drivers here can do. We know Gerard Pera needs to get around the number 66 sooner than later as his teammate is running 2nd place here. So we're going to see what these 2 drivers can do here today.
And so it looked like Parasiafakis tried to get one move down on Gerard Pera onto the inside of turn 1, but instead it looked like Parasiafakis all of a sudden wanted to become a drift car, and that puff of smoke was a really good, big explanation of that as well.
Paris has just gone a little loose out of the corner there.
And Gerard Pera once again on the back bumper of the number 66, but the 66 going to defend to the inside. The 55 going to be on the inside.
Yeah, the 66 doing a lot of hard work here on this number 55 here. He's going to have to defend like mad here because he knows that there's a fast driver behind the wheel of that AMG right there. So Jordan Brook really put the pressure down. See if he can give the 55 a mistake here. But Jordan Brook is doing a superb job of defending that 55 AMG.
Yeah, Gerard just really trying to get by this number 66 as he's really holding up the progress of this driver, the Australian versus the Spaniard. And I think the Spaniard in that torque of that Mercedes is going to get it done here. I think Gerard going a bit wide to try and compensate for a better run out of the corner.
Outside,
Ooh, bit of contact there. Yeah, contact.
He's He's going to get by him, though.
Yeah, a bit of contact as well, but of course, the more important thing is Gerard is going to get by for 5th place. And George got
I hate to interrupt you, sir, but somewhere Pedro Harsis suddenly dropped down to 12th place, so we don't know what happened.
Oh yeah, he's really dropped back. So we're not 100% sure what happened to the number 18. But for now, we're going to monitor this battle at the moment with the two of the three PRT Subarus, and then you got the New Union Race Club Jaguar F-Type, and one of the Spectre Racing Aston Martin. Tank slapper for Jordan, and Rob Shower is going to get on by for 6th place.
Nicholas Coates making up a lot of ground too with the number 0 BMW right there. He's really charging hard. Oh, a little bit of.
Oh, Paris getting a bit wide. Nick Marriott's going to go on through for 8th place.
One of the mistakes made by the Greek driver, which is cost him position here in the carousel. Now he's going to have to try and use that draft to see if he can get something going in the next couple of corners here.
Oh, a little lockup for Jordan Brook going into the double left-hander. Oh, big tank slapper to boot as well. And he's actually going to come into the pits.
Let's see what
tires this stop.
I think he knows
bit damage, so some new Dunlop slicks going on there. And so he's going to stick on Racing Super Sauce for this next stint.
Nick Marriott and Paris Sifakas still going strong here, but let's go up to the front of the field here, where we've possibly got another battle ensuing here with 2nd place here, the number 80 of CJ Holmes, the 939 of Luke Mitchell, and the 63 of Alexander Heine here. I think this is going to be a very interesting battle here between these 3 drivers here, are only in the top 4, but for 2nd place here.
Yes, CJ Holmes still holding on to that 2nd place position for the time being on lap number 24 for the most part, because of course did have our 2 pace laps, of course, so subtract 2. Oh, and that's Luke Mitchell going wide, and Alexander Hines going to sneak through for 2nd.
You mean 3rd place?
Or 3rd place, I'm sorry. I haven't had enough coffee today, ladies and gentlemen.
So it looks like that Alexander Heinen is actually on Super Softs, and it looks like CJ Horn is actually on Racing Softs. But Luke Mitchell is also on Super Soft, so we're going to see an interesting developmental here to see what these 2 drivers here can do.
Yeah, it's also interesting to note as well that Frederick Bailus, who is the race-leading car at the moment, I think I saw someone go to the pits. That is Paris Sifakas in the number 21, so he's getting a new set of Pirelli slicks. Going back to what I was going to say about Frederick Bailus, he too is actually on Racing Soft as well, so on similar strategies as well. And Joshua Murray also in the pits, and the number 357 Porsche 11 RSR. And he is going to stay on.
This is a loud flat 6.
Yeah, really fat, a really loud flat 6 engine to boot as well. And of course, this battle, like I said, still kind of raging on, but it's going to be close for the most part. If Alexander Heinen can get up a little bit, he needs to find a bit more time if he can to get up a little ways closer to the number 80.
Yeah, CJ Holm just having just the comeback after just the lap 2 incident between him and his teammate of Gerard Herrera with a team collision here. Alexander Heinen really close, getting on the back bumper of the 80 right there. But like I said, CJ Holm right there after a team collision during another FCY has really just taken that car, just driven it back up there for 2nd place. And now he's going to have to fight with Alexander Heinen here in the 63 entry.
And Luke Mitchell getting low on fuel, so I think he is going to have to come in for a 2nd stop. So it is getting to that time of the race where, fuel strategy getting a bit close to the end. So, of course, thinking about making that pit stop. And, of course, Alexander Heine going to try and force him up the inside, and he does on the number 80.
Oh, and Tom just keeps it just in front of him. They were side by side, but the energy from that AMG just propelled him back in front.
And so now it would look like an attack tried to be an attack for the number 80, or for the number 63, turned out to be, no, I'm going to keep this position for the number 80. So, once again, we'll go on board now with the number 63 from the driver's eye. And that Mercedes not going to go anywhere. And that Subaru not going to go anywhere. But Alexander just really on it here for... It's going to be turbo versus naturally aspirated. Oh, big 10 slapper for the number 63.
He's driving the wheels off that thing, ain't he?
Oh, he is.
Gonna see if he can get the draft here. Going into turn 1 and to the turns 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, back flames as well on the Mercedes. Very, very pleasing to watch as well.
You don't want to you don't want to brake. You just want to let off of the downshift. That's how you get the extra grip going to that corner here. See Holm just having drive of a lifetime here today, being very consistent, keeping his head under, and just having the drive here. And let's see what Alexander Hines is going to do here for the time being. Sends one up to the inside.
Oh, send to the inside again. So try number 2 this time.
There's contact. There's contact.
And the number 80 getting forced a bit wide by the number 63. So I think race control is going to have a look at that one.
Yeah, I definitely think that was definitely some avoidable contact. I believe that if CJ Holm was going to leave enough room, he left enough space to make a pass stick. But I think Alexander Hines just took a little too much there. But we're going to see if that is a penalty worthy right there for the number 63. We're going to find out here.
Yeah, and so Alexander Heinen getting that second place position. Now Luke Mitchell into third place for the time being.
Nope, he's going to pit. He's going to pit. He's going to run out of fuel.
So Luke Mitchell coming in on lap number 27 into lap number 28. So a new set of slicks going on. We're not sure what exact compound they are for the time being, so some fuel going in as well. So it's going to be super softs once again. And for lap number 28.
Drops down to 8th place here. And just looking here, it looks as if the Nick Marriott and Nicholas Cook are actually going to be in a battle again here in this stage of the race here today.
And so, once again, these guys locking fists with each other, or should I say locking wheels with one another, because, of course, the fact that these two used to be teammates for pretty much like 1 to 2 races, and then all of a sudden it's just like Nick's got himself a 4-car effort. Of course, Nick Marriott leading this 4-car effort, and Nicholas Cook joining the infamous Starscream Enterprises, who are so well recognizable on the track for their success. And these two are going to be really, really on it here, and they're going to be battling it out here. And, of course, Nicholas Cook is going to be Aussie versus New Zealander. Who can win it, the Australian or the discount Australian?
Yeah, you really like to butt heads here. Nicholas Cook all over the back bumper of the 17, gives him a little...
On a move onto the inside goes Nicholas Cook for the 6th place position, and he does so. So what a move by Nicholas Cook. He's actually going to come into the pits.
He may be coming in for fuel if I'm aware of this.
No, he's good on fuel. He's got about close to 50 liters of fuel in the tank. So he gets some new rubber and his straight back on out, and he's going to go straight to the faster super soft compound.
I think these guys are, I think what we're seeing here is that we try to get the track position for that restart, and now it's like, okay, I've got the track position. Let's see what other ground I can make up here. I'm going to throw on maybe just a splashing dash in fuel, and maybe even some faster compound tires here to get some more extra positions here. So let's see what these guys can do here.
So let me take a minute to realize that one of our fellow competitors is a complete armchair. And that is in the hands of Mr. Luke Mitchell in the Mitchell Motorsports Racing number 929 Peugeot RC said GT3.
Yeah, absolutely. This guy has been around the series for a very long time, very young, very respected around the garage. And he's just wheeling that thing like a veteran.
We'll turn our attention back up to a bit of the field now, where it seems like Gerard Parra has actually caught himself back up with the number 80 of CJ Holden. Of course, Gerard having more fuel in the tank.
And Rob Shower's going to make his pit stop now. I don't think he's got enough for the end here.
No, he's got the fuel up as well as Nick Marriott also into the pits as well. So these guys, I think, might be going for either the super softs or the softs. Yep. Back on the softs they go. And Nicholas Cook is going to overtake Rob Shower, but Rob Shower is going to be on newer tires. So,
but Luke Mitchell, though, he's going to have to do some defending here between these two drivers here.
So here's an interesting proposition, because you have the top four who top four who have not pitted. So that's Frederick Bylus, Alexander Heinen in the BMW and then the Subaru, and then you have the two Parra, who are still on very worn tires. First, third, and fourth are on softs, and then you have Alexander Heinen, who is on super softs as well. So,
yeah, Alexander Heinz been just driving a really strong car here today. Started P2 behind the pole sitter, Frederick Bylus here. Got a little caught up in the pack here, but at the end, he's just somehow come back here. We've got about 8 laps to go in this race here.
And CJ Holden going to come into the pits for what appears to be his final stop, as is Gerard Parra. So the two SDM Mercedes going to make their final stop of the day. And they're both going to go on super softs. And Gerard Parra is going to beat out CJ Holden, because Gerard did take more fuel during that full course yellow. So Gerard getting past CJ in the pit stop cycle, and of course these two now on the super soft tires.
And we've got a position change here. We've got Nicholas Cook now in the P5 here this race. He's gone around the number 939 of Luke Mitchell here, but now Rob Scheller is now following the 939 of Luke Mitchell. So let's see here if Nicholas Cook can actually catch the two Mercedes here of Gerard Parra and CJ Holden.
Yeah, Nicholas Cook, he is quick when he wants to be quick. So with just about, I want to say 7 laps to go, don't count this young discount Australian on out, because he will be on a charge. So keep an eye out for his pace. For the most part, he's setting blue sectors, so he's setting personal best sectors, not purple sectors, which would be overall quickest sectors, but he is setting personal best sector times at the moment.
He's actually just set his fastest lap now, just the last lap of 129.029.
And Alexander Heinen, I hate to interrupt you, CJ, but he is in the pits, the German, coming in for his final stop. A bit of fuel in the tank, and he is on his way with a new set of racing super softs.
Well, I think he's just wanted to defend that position, try to get out there as quick as he can in front of the two Mercedes here, because if he knew that he was going to be behind the two AMGs, he was going to have to do a lot of hard work to try and get around those two cars.
Oh, and very, very high up the ground those left side wheels were on the number 55 Mercedes, so he is absolutely pushing for a podium position nonetheless, which he already is there, but he wants to try and hold it off from the number 80 of CJ Holden, and Gerard Parra shows a mistake, and that's P4, and just like that, he wanted to keep the podium position, but of course mistakes do occur if you're not careful with the car.
So now CJ Holden could get a podium finish here. Now he's just blue sectored his personal best here, sector 2. And now the race leader is in the pits. Frederick Bylus now in the number 1 entry. We'll put on some new rubber, and we'll take a little bit of gas to go as well, just to extend that lead a little bit more longer. As the second place car is now just rounding the final corner, starting to come on the front stretch here. And Frederick Biles has already gone on the pit lane, going into turn 1.
Yep, and the race leading car, the number 1, back on the Super Soft. So the Super Soft here really paying dividends for the BMW M6 GT3. And of course, just like that, he will take it to the end for today's race. And ladies and gentlemen, before we start commencing our final segment of the race, go to the Global Arm Racer organization and vote for the driver of the day. Of course, we will announce who our drivers of the day will be at the end of the race and the poll results as well. And also, ladies and gentlemen, if you do like our commentating efforts here within the Global Arm Racer organization, please leave a like, leave a comment, and of course, if you want to be notified of any future videos we do upload, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, of course. And of course, we do hope you, like I said, enjoy the action while it is here. We will bring commentary action for the Global GGT4C Championship and the Global GT3 Championship all season long as well.
Right now, we've got a little battle ensuing here for P3 here. The two Mercedes of CJ Horner in the 80 and Gerard Pera in the 55. Looks like they're going to be working together to try and make it to the end here. And we've just gotten more radio communication that CJ Horner may actually not have enough fuel to make it to the end of this race here. So he's going to have to be fuel saving a little bit here during this last little bit of this race here.
And we've also gotten word from that racing incident with Alexander Heinen and CJ Holden that piece of contact was deemed a racing incident by race control. So Alexander Heinen escaping penalty in the number 63. So at the moment, he will most likely keep his second place finish.
Yeah, while this third place battle is ensuing, look behind number 0 of Nicholas Cook. He is making a hard charge here, or possibly a podium finisher to try and get around the two AMGs. And Sehorn actually just set his fastest lap. So did the 55 just set his fastest lap here. The two AMGs, they're rocking solid. But Nicholas Cook here, don't count him out. He could be up there for a podium finish.
Yeah, Nicholas Cook has really been putting on the pressure now in that number 0. And he's just, like I said, he's still setting blue personal best sectors. We'll take a moment to look at the live timing here. And Nicholas Cook, blue personal best sector 1 for Nicholas Cook. And then, like I said, Frederick Bilus as well. He set a personal best sector 3 just about a lap ago. And so Nicholas Cook, like I said, he's really putting the pace on now with just about, I don't know, about 4 laps to go starting after this cross the finish line.
4 laps to go. It looks like the 80 will have to do some defending here in this latter half of this race here. We're going to see right here what he can do to try to possibly get that final spot on the podium here today.
We'll take a second off of that battle for the time being, but for the time being, we have a battle for 11th place. And also, as a matter of fact, I didn't even realize it just till just now. The number 17 of Nick Marriott has actually retired from this race, so we're not 100% sure what the issue with that is. So, of course, he will not, unfortunately, be able to see the checker flag here for today's preseason race.
Yeah, such a tough shame for Nick Marriott. Led such a good, consistent race until whatever happened, it happened. But now the two Porsches are going up for position for 11th place here. Joshua Murray getting a little sideways. That's going to allow Stuart Parsons to sneak on by, and he does. Joshua Murray now trying to fit in the draft of the number 4 car.
Yeah, and it looks like those Porsches may be a bit low on fuel. I'm not 100% sure what it is in contraction to the rest of the field.
Stuart Parsons getting a little bit sideways going on corner entry.
Yeah, while we continue to monitor this battle, we'll go back up to 3rd place with the number 80 of CJ Holden and Gerard Pera in the 55 as they continue to basically partner it out for a 3rd and 4th place finish. Wouldn't they love it wouldn't they love a 3rd place finish here for this new program? Of course, they used to run SRT Vipers for GT3. For 2 years, Trevor Holden won the 2018 Drivers' Championship, but unfortunately had no wins after an extremely good drive in 2018. But of course, his 2019 was just the complete opposite of what Trevor was anticipating for 2018. So now, of course, the Viper, of course, not a competitive chassis like it used to be. So now, of course, it's to something new, and that, of course, is the Mercedes-AMG GT3.
Yeah, now Nicholas Cook now really, looks like CJ Holmes just gone just a little bit wide here. Going on corner entry of the carousel now. He's all over the back. Gerard Parra all over the back bumper to the 80 right there. Nicholas Cook now looking to see if anything's going to happen here. Gerard Parra is going to have a run to the inside here, side by side, going up the back stretch here. Gerard Parra is going to have to look for position, and he does. Nicholas Cook trying to take the opportunity that he can here. CJ Holden and the sandwich of the two German machines. And now this is going to be a drag race here down towards the turn one here on the front stretch here. CJ Holden now under a lot of pressure here. Gerard Parra now into third place here. Let's see what he can do. We've got 2 laps to go in this race here. CJ Holden trying to make everything that he can. Try to stick here for these last 2 laps, see if he can get that position back.
Yeah, it looked like that CJ Holden, I think, just kind of gave that position to Gerard Parra because I think he knew that Nicholas Cook was coming, and I don't think he wanted to hold up that 55 a bit much longer because, like I said, he would have been, the Nicholas Cook would have been literally all over the back bumper of that 55. So, and I think CJ might be fuel saving at this rate because he's very on edge with strategy at the moment.
Yeah, I think, just a little bit loose going on corner entry there, but now the number 55 is just going to slowly get away, but now he's got to deal with the threat of one of his biggest rivals from last year, which is Nicholas Cook, and the number 0 entry, and now CJ Holden got to do a lot of the hard defending here for this 4th place position here. Nicholas Cook all over the back bumper there.
Oh, look at this, they both move to defend. What a move that was for Nicholas Cook as he goes a bit wide onto the red slippery stuff.
CJ Holden getting 2 tires on it as well, but this is going to give Nicholas Cook a huge run towards the second to final corner here. CJ Holden defending. Nicholas Cook going to the outside, so will CJ Holden follow as well. Little side-by-side contact right there.
Oh, contact. Oh, this is going to be a saucy final lap.
He knows that CJ Holden is under pressure now. He's over the back bumper again, coming to the final lap of this race here. We're going to keep it on this battle here for as long as it stands here.
Yeah, one lap to go for the most part here for the GGT3C preseason round. And so, of course, these guys going to have just one more lap to duke it out here. And it is going to be all game or no game for a lot of these guys. And Nicholas Cook!
The 80's just been sent into the wall by the 0. Oh, the 0's going on too. That's going to give Rob Schauer the finish. He's going to take 4th place.
And Nicholas Cook back. Oh my God, Nicholas Cook is in the wall. So, and I think he was waiting for that number 80 to pass him by, but there was massive engine damage on the front end of that BMW M6.
Oh, not the day that he wanted right there. Oh, I bet he's fuming right now. He just, that was not the way he wanted his race to end. He after such a early collision in the race, got himself back up into a top 5 position, all for that to happen. But as we corner the final corner here, we're going to see the checker flag as Frederick Bilos will take the first win of the season in the Global GT3 Championship here in the preseason race. Frederick Bilos wins the preseason round at Dragon Trail.
It's not a season since it's a preseason round. Alexander Heinen in the 63 will come home for a 2nd place finish in the 63.
How about this for Gerard Parra? Just his first start will get 3rd place, a podium position. Gerard Parra gets 3rd place in number 55 AMG.
Rob Schauer, 2nd place last year in the 2019 standings, will come home for 4th place as well. And how about this? Luke Mitchell, a completely unexpected top 5 finish here today, spins it around, yeets it across the start-finish line.
Holden will come home for 6th place. Jordan Brook now in the 66 will come home for 7th place here, the number 66 entry.
And he too yeets it across the start-finish line.
Pedro Hart's 8th place here. Nicholas Cook, 9th place, yeets it across the finish line as well. Paris Siafakis just taking his sweet old time. Almost out of gas here. In the number 21 New Union Race Club entry. The F-Type GT3 here. As he will come home for 10th place here in today's race.
And
Stuart
logistical
Parsons.
nightmare racing of Stuart Parsons in the number 4 Porsche comes home for 11th, and Joshua Murray will take 12th as Nick Marriott will come home for P12.
The one and only retirement.
Nick Marriott unfortunately was not able to get to the end, unfortunately, as well. So, but of course, things like that happen. But of course, CJ Holden, we have finally come to the end of our preseason round runnings. Of course, being the GGT4C and GGT3C. Who is your driver of the day for GGT3C? Of course.
Honestly, I think my driver of the day was Luke Mitchell. Honestly, just having a starting at the back of the grid, just absolutely coming back from what could have been just a horrible last down the order race finish, but after a delusional events between the number 0 and the number 80 that just absolutely benefited him and gave him a 5th place finish here. I think he's driver of the day by far.
Yeah, I think I have to give my driver of the day vote to Gerard Parra in the number 55 Mercedes. Not just for the fact that it was just for team's sake. I think with just the setbacks that he's had and with the comeback that he had to come back into 3rd place, and I will admit he actually no. To think about it, that incident between CJ and Nicholas did happen for 4th and 5th, and Gerard I think just did an absolutely amazing job to get by for 3rd place. So I think, in my opinion, for what the drive he did today, he's done himself very, very well to get driver of the day, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's to let you all know there's 2 CJ Holdens that actually exist in this world. I'm CJ Holden. That's another CJ Holden that I never have met or seen in my life right there. That's another Holden right there.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you did enjoy today's showing of the GORO eSports preseason round for GGT3C at Dragon Trail Gardens. So, next week we will have post-race coverage of the first round of the Global GT4C Championship season at Autodrome de Nazionale Monza, where we have a QKO that is still going on. And if you have not set your laps already, please do so. And of course, we will be back next week. We don't know the staff that will be on hand for next week's showing of the Global Arm Racing Organization for GGT4C at Monza. But if you did enjoy, please leave a like, drop a comment, and if you're so thoroughly inclined to come back and see more of these episodes and commentaries, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I have been Trevor Holden, partnered with CJ Holden, and we will see you guys next time.
There's still 2 of us that exist.